Today on Noemi Cooks and Tells, it's going to be the battle of the healthy pancakes. So these two stacks of pancakes were made with a healthy flour alternative. This one was made with coconut flour and this one was made with almond flour. So I'm going to show you how to make these, and then they're going to go head to head and we're going to decide on who's the winner. So let's get to it. And now we're going to make the coconut flour pancakes. First, it really helps out to mix your dry ingredients first. So I have everything all separated. I'm going to add the sweetener and then the baking powder and the sea salt. And so we're going to go ahead and mix that up. Now we're going to go ahead and mix the wet ingredients. So the order doesn't exactly matter with the wet ingredients. So I started with the melted butter, then the vanilla extract, and the unsweetened almond milk, and the heavy whipping cream, and then we'll go ahead and crack 2 eggs. Now you can go ahead and mix the wet ingredients together, and then we're going to pour those into the dry ingredients. And you can pour the wet ingredient into the dry ones, but I feel like it makes it a little bit harder to mix and it ends up being a little runny. So I like to pour the wet ingredients into the dry one, and this is kind of the consistency you want. So we'll take a pan, melt some butter. You want to make sure the pan is nice and hot. That's always a mistake I've made when I try to do pancakes. I don't wait till the pan gets hot enough. And then go ahead and pour the pancake batter. It makes it a little better to flip if you don't do such big pancake circles. And then the key to making them rise nicely is to put a lid over them. This is kind of what they'll come out to looking like halfway through. And then just wait till it looks a little bit dry on top, or you see a little bit of bubbles. And then you'll flip them and you'll see some nice, beautiful pancakes. I love a nice golden crispy crust. So you see right here, I was having a little bit of trouble flipping them. So if you make them a little bit smaller, then they're easier to flip. And then we're going to go ahead and let that cook on the other side a little bit longer. And we'll go ahead and put the lid right back on. So they've been cooking on the other side for a couple minutes now, so I think they're pretty much done. We're going to go ahead and take these out and plate them up. Now that we have the coconut flour pancakes done, it's moving on to the almond flour pancakes. So similar to how I did the coconut flour pancakes, I'm going to do the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients separate and then mix them together. So get 2 eggs and 3/4 tablespoon of vanilla extract. I used about 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. You can use olive oil as well if you prefer that. And then I used sugar-free maple flavored syrup, but you can use regular maple syrup if you'd like as well. I was just trying to make these pancakes as low carb as possible. And once you get those all in there, then go ahead and mix it up and get them all incorporated, and we'll move on to doing the dry ingredients and mixing those together. So get the 1 cup of almond flour, and then we're going to put in the baking powder and a little pinch of salt. So this is optional, but I like to add some sugar. So I did a 1/4 cup of swerve for these almond flour pancakes. And go ahead and grab the wet ingredients and mix them into the dry ingredients and give it a nice stir. So once you have your pan nice and hot and you've melted some butter on it, then you can go ahead and scoop out some of the pancake batter. Make sure you make them small because, like I said, the smaller they are, the easier they are to handle. And you can spoon them out, or you can use a measuring cup like I did, whichever way works for you. So using the lid trick I did with the coconut flour pancakes would work as well. But when you go to flip them, if you don't use the lid, just be sure to be gentle because they might be a little bit runny. So just make sure to flip them with confidence and they'll be all right. And hey, if they get a little torn, it's okay. Like my mom says, they're all going to the same place. So flip them one more time just to make sure that they're done on the other side, and go ahead and plate them up. And I'm going to plate these up and we're going to eat and compare. So these two stacks of pancakes, I'm going to compare them based on 4 things: taste, texture, cook time, and prep time, and the similarity to regular pancakes. So let's go ahead and start off with the coconut flour pancakes first. All right, so I got some sugar-free maple syrup, but you can use whatever syrup you'd like. But since my husband and I are doing a little bit of a low-carb diet, we decided to go with sugar-free. All right, so right off the bat, it looks like a really nice stack of pancakes. So let's go ahead and just dig right into it. So I can notice right off the bat, they're very crumbly. So I'm having a hard time putting the fork through it and picking it up. So that's definitely something to note for a coconut flour pancake. It tastes so good. Definitely has really good taste. So cook time for these, I would say between putting the ingredients together and making them, it took me maybe about 20 minutes. So when you make pancakes from scratch, they always take a little bit longer. Yeah, I think 20 minutes was pretty good, and that's really not that bad. But yeah, so they're definitely very crumbly. As you can see, they're like falling apart here. So you gotta be kind of gentle with them. But overall, they taste very good. Texture, yeah, they're a little bit grainy, a little bit on the grainy side, not so smooth. Similarity to a regular pancake, I would say not very similar at all. You know, the coconut flavor is very light, and yeah, not really similar to a pancake at all, actually, just other than they're a little thinner than regular pancakes. I mean, some people like their pancakes very thin. I know my mom does. But I like mine really fluffy. So they actually kind of came out quite fluffy. I mean, more than I expected them to. So overall, I think these are actually a great alternative, especially if you can't have almond flour, because you know some people have nut allergies. But I think they're still very good, and give them a try. You know, do your own test at home and see which ones you like better. So let's move on to the almond flour. Okay, so definitely these, I would say, look a lot more like a regular pancake. They're much fluffier. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, they're much fluffier than the coconut flour pancakes. So let's go ahead and get right to it and taste it. Much more firmer than the coconut flour pancakes, so they're not crumbling apart like the other ones, so they hold much better together. The taste is actually, I would say, better than the coconut flour. Now, I actually like these better than the coconut flour pancakes. The texture is a little grainy as well, but I think a little bit less grainy than the coconut flour pancakes, and they're much fluffier. Taste is excellent. The cook time was about 20 minutes. The texture is slightly grainy, but not as much as the coconut flour pancakes, and they're a little bit smoother. And similarity to a regular pancake, I think this one's the winner, really. I mean, look how good it holds together. I'm cutting right into it, and it just looks like a regular pancake, and it tastes as close to the real thing, I think, as I could get. And yeah, I think these are the ones. So I hope you liked my video on the Battle of the Healthy Pancakes. My winner definitely is almond flour, but I'm not going to completely shy away coconut flour pancakes. But I would say if you don't have a nut allergy and you're wanting to experiment with a healthier pancake alternative, definitely make these almond flour pancakes. I think you'll really love them. And give this video a thumbs up if you liked my comparison. Leave me a comment below if you have any suggestions on my next video. And be sure to subscribe and hit that notification button so you know when I post a new video next week. All right, thank you. Bye.